Hello everybody, welcome back to another video, and yeah, I know some of you are probably thinking this is a weird video to be posting now, especially if you're more of a recent subscriber, in which case it's a lot of movie content, but I do love me some wrestling also, and I didn't have the time to put this video out at the end of the year because of being busy with, the end of the year movie list. But I thought that Wrestlemania week would be the best time to release this video. That way I could still talk about some of my favorite matches of last year. And yes, that's right, it is Wrestlemania week. I'm excited. Although the build-up hasn't been great. Although that will be talked about in a separate video, hopefully, if that gets out. And also, I'm hoping that you actually are seeing this on Wrestlemania week. Because, I don't know, I'm recording it Wrestlemania week. Hopefully you see it Wrestlemania week. We'll see. Or at least right after Wrestlemania, maybe. We'll see. But yeah, I just wanted to give you, I created this list last year, and then I confirmed it before making this video, and I still stick with it. Admittedly, I confirmed it at like the very beginning of the year, and so a little while ago, so I might be not as fresh as I should be, but just due to time, it's been hard to, rewatch all these matches. But here is my list for the top 10 matches, WWE matches of 2025. Now, first, I do have some honorable mentions before we get into it, and these all of these were actually in the 10th spot at one time. Even after the year concluded, I kept changing it because I had no idea which one I wanted. So here's some honorable mentions. When I have, and I do have them in an order, so even though this is honorable mentions, I'll say them in an order, because it's like 13, I have the men's Elimination Chamber match from Elimination Chamber. I just thought it was so entertaining. And then at 11, I do have Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria at Money in the Bank. I thought this match was amazing. I think these two are just great in the ring, regardless. So, spoiler alert, we might see them later. I mean, you're seeing them fight right now, but we'll get to that when we get to that. And then to me, easily number 11, that was, I honestly, I'm starting to think should have been number 10. I have Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens in the ladder match at Royal Rumble. Honestly, that probably should be number 10 because it's so good, and it was so violent. Like, it was just crazy. Like, my jaw dropped multiple times. But I decided to go with another one at number 10, although I'm starting to think that I should switch them. But that's okay. I'm at least mentioning it to give it its love. That way it's not forgotten. But now we kick into the actual top 10 I have here. So, at number 10, I have the Women's Elimination Chamber match from 2025, which had Alexa Bliss, Bayley, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Naomi, and Roxanne Perez. And Bianca Belair won it. Admittedly, I was rooting for either Liv Morgan or Alexa Bliss to win it, and they didn't. But, I guess that's okay. But yeah, I thought this match was just so entertaining. First of all, I thought that the build-up to this WrestleMania, that being WrestleMania 41, was really exciting in general. So it's always fun just to see who's going to win the Rumble and who's going to win the Chamber to go on to get a title shot at Mania. So that added to the excitement of it. You have like two of my favorites in here, in Liv and Alexa. So I was like, oh, one of them could finally win it. I was wrong, but that's I guess it's okay. But it just went crazy. Liv got like beat up very badly, especially when Bianca just smacks her with her braid. Crazy. So I just thought this match was so fun and entertaining, and just like, and even violent, that it's what ended up being in 10th place. Now give me a second as I swap out matches before we talk about number 9. Okay, now we jump in to number 9, where I have Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria for the Intercontinental Championship at Backlash. This match was just, I found it to be so entertaining, and I remember this match, I actually didn't have an idea who was going to win. Going into it, I was like, I could see Lyra possibly retaining, but it's more likely that Becky's going to win it, because I think they're gonna put the belt on Becky. So I was actually kind of very pleasantly surprised and happy with Lyra winning. And also, this was just part 1 in an amazing feud. I think all of their matches, I think I mentioned this before, all of their matches this year were, in my personal opinion, great. Yes, the SummerSlam match was a bit like, there's an issue there with the zip ties, which covered in WWE Unreal. It wasn't enough to bother me, but it was enough not to make the top 10. But that's also okay, because one almost made the top 10 of Money in the Bank, and this one didn't make the top 10. And again, you might see these two again later in this list, because they're just so good together. And it is to me, one of the most entertaining matches, back and forth matches too, that I just thought was great. Plus, these are like two of my favorites going at it. So seeing these two, especially, it was just so fun, and it made the Intercontinental Championship actually feel important, especially because I feel like it was okay going up to this. Lyra won it, which was awesome, but this match I feel like is what, and this feud is what made that title feel like, oh, this is an important title. And yeah, I don't have too much to say, but I thought this match was just great. Next up at number 8, I have Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn in the unsanctioned match at Elimination Chamber. This match is so good and so violent. I honestly think that this is the only match that I feel like kind of wish there was blood. I just feel like it almost felt like crazy that there wasn't because of how violent the match got. Like, we had a barbed wire chair. They were putting each other through chairs and through tables and beating each other up with, like I said, the barbed wire chair and kendo sticks. And it's just, I'm pretty sure there was a spot where they ripped up the mat and then they slammed them onto like the hard floor, no mat. It was like awesome, and they changed up the lighting too, which I think was kind of an interesting choice too. I think it worked because it did make the match feel different from all the other matches, the way they like changed up the lighting. But yeah, there was just some insane spots in this match that had my jaw dropped or I jumped out of my chair. It was just crazy, and it was just so good. Like, Kevin Owens, back-to-back PLEs, put on 2 violent but amazing match of the year contenders with the Cody Rhodes ladder match and now the Sami Zayn unsanctioned match. It was just fun and violent, and also I think the right person won in Kevin Owens. I just thought that was awesome. Okay, at number 7, I have Bayley versus Becky Lynch versus Lyra Valkyria, triple threat for the Women's Intercontinental Championship at Evolution. Like I said, Lyra and Becky appearing once again, this being my favorite of the feud matches, but also barely, because like I said, I think all of them were great. But now we're throwing Bayley in there, and it's just so fun and entertaining. Again, I was on the edge of my seat, not fully knowing who was going to win. I think I'd end up picking Becky Lynch, because I was like, I'm leaning towards that. But I could see Lyra and Bayley winning it, and like every near fall got to me. I was like, oh, jumping out of my chair. It was crazy. I don't even have, there was like crazy spots, multiple roll-ups, and like where like different like counters that was just like so cool. I can't even explain it. They're just like cool counters, and I think the way Becky won in this like crazy back-to-back roll-up, it was awesome and unexpected, and it was such a cool way to have her win it. I thought this was a great match. Next up at number 6, I actually have Bianca Belair versus Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship in a triple threat at WrestleMania 41. Now, what's funny is that if you guys have been subscribed for a while and you actually saw my review of WrestleMania 41 last year and I ranked the match at the end, this one was actually number 2 with the Roman Punk Seth triple threat being number 1. But upon rewatch, when I rewatched both of them, I actually prefer this match. So spoiler alert, that match is not on this list. It was great, don't get me wrong, but I do actually prefer this match, and I still kind of think it should have main evented instead, probably. But just crazy. Like, I was positive that Io Sky was gonna lose also going into this, because I was like, well, it's WrestleMania, they're gonna put it on either their big star in Rhea Ripley or they're gonna put it in their other big star in Bianca Belair. There's no way that they're gonna give it to Io Sky. So every near fall got to me. I was like, oh, Rhea's gonna win it. Nope. Bianca's gonna win. And then there were even times where I was like, oh no, Io might actually win it. And guess what? Io Sky did win it, and it was awesome to see. The match was just so exciting. Again, edge of my seat, and just some like crazy stuff that they did too, jumping off the top rope and doing some crazy stuff. It was awesome. And number 6, and I have changed my mind since right after WrestleMania. All right, kicking off the top 5, I have the 6-pack TLC match from SummerSlam for the tag titles, which included Motor City Machine Guns, Rey Fenix and Andrade. Let me restart that. Motor City Machine Guns versus Rey Fenix and Andrade versus the Street Profits versus Fraxium versus the Wyatt Six and versus DIY. These ladder matches are just so fun. For my top 10 of 2024, that 6-pack ladder match at Mania 40 cracked the top 10. I'm pretty sure also top 5, and now this cracks the top 5. These ladder matches are just so much fun. I want this to be a yearly tradition now. for either WrestleMania or SummerSlam or something, preferably WrestleMania, but I'm okay with it being SummerSlam since this is also them fixing the mistake because I was so angry that we didn't get this ladder match like this at WrestleMania. It was so infuriating. Instead, the Raw Tag Team Champions in a lame match that was really just there for sponsorship. It was so infuriating. So I'm so glad they got their redemption here, although they did have another match after WrestleMania that we'll talk to. Spoiler alert. But it was crazy. Jaw was dropping, jumping out of my chair as they went through tables, as they went through ladders, as they jumped off of ladders, and all this just crazy shenanigans that happened. And not fully knowing who was going to win either. So every time someone would climb the ladder, I was like, my heart was pounding. I was like, who's going to win it? It was insane and awesome and easily a top 5 match of the year. And now, once we talk about top 4, once I switch out this match. Just finishing up my thoughts, like I said, that match was incredible. And then but before that, we had a match that I went back and forth as to which one was better. I decided to go with this one because at number 4, I have the triple threat TLC match for the tag team championships between Motor City Machine Guns versus Street Profits versus DIY on the April 25th, 2025 episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Luckily, it was commercial free, and again, it was just so anger-inducing that this was a SmackDown match and not on WrestleMania. Like, I cannot tell you how angry I was about that, and especially because we saw this match and it was amazing. One of the best matches I think I've seen. Again, I love these ladder matches between these tag teams. I hope we get one at least every year, or TLC, because it technically was TLC match. We got crazy spots where they hit each other with chairs. They were going through ladders, going through chairs. They jump in off the top of ladders. We got I believe if I'm remembering right, we got this. This was the match that had the spear to one of the members of DIY who was hanging off the titles. A guy gave one of the members of Motor City Machine, one of the Street Profits, his prosthetic leg, and he used that prosthetic leg he used it as a weapon before handing it back to the fan in the crowd. Just crazy. It was awesome. Definitely easily one of my favorite matches. And again, I went back and forth. I decided to slightly go with the first time around. And again, should have been on WrestleMania. So, big mistake made by WWE, but hey, they put on an amazing match. Now we kick off the top 3 with Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Title at Evolution. And this, I am including Naomi's cash in here. Once again, I just kind of doubted that WWE was going to ever book. I had doubts about WWE booking Io to win. So I went into it thinking they're probably going to give it to Rhea. They're going to pay off this feud, especially with them being like, Rhea's never beat Io. And she's going to do it here to get the title because they're going to want to put the title on Rhea Ripley. I was rooting for Io Sky but we went into this match and it was crazy. First of all, every near fall got to me, like I said before. It was just near fall after near fall, and it worked. It got to me. And then of course we got a ref bump. Well, first of all, even before the ref bump, the match was insane with all these near falls and some crazy moves. And then when the ref was bumped and they went outside the ring and they had this huge brawl, which was just crazy, and it spilled out into the audience, which was cool. Io went up on top like this scaffolding that was there. She jumped off of it and landed on Rhea. And then after they were all beat up and they went back into the ring, where we did get the classic Rhea covers Io. There is a 1, 2, 3, but the ref is still out. The ref is back up, and guess what we get? Naomi's music hits. Naomi cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase, turning it into a triple threat, which also means no rules, but it didn't matter too much because it didn't last very long, because she just gave, was it Rhea or Io? One of them a smack with the briefcase, got the pin and the win, won the title. It was an amazing cash-in, followed an amazing match. And I did almost put this one higher. I think at one point in time it was actually number 2. And I mean, when it first happened, it was actually number 1. And then I think it moved to number 2, and I think it just recently moved to number 3. But this match was just amazing. The top 2 also kept changing, and this is what I ended up going with, because at number 2, I have Cody Rhodes versus John Cena in a street fight for the undisputed WWE title at SummerSlam. This is kind of like what we should have gotten at WrestleMania, because after the WrestleMania match was super disappointing, especially because I was very excited for it going into it, because my two favorites were going to battle it out for the title, and I was very disappointed in that match. I mean, I think all of us were. So they kind of righted the wrong with this match and making it more violent with it being a street fight. And this was another match too that I kind of was I couldn't decide who they were going to go with. Didn't know who was going to win. I could see an argument for both of them, so it was back and forth. They did some crazy violent stuff, including it was just, I thought it was such a great match that even though they kind of messed up the heel turn, well, the heel turn itself was awesome, but they messed up the heel run, and then they also should have done a much more of a story to get him back to the face. But it was awesome having the true Cody Rhodes versus the true John Cena. So this was just a super fun match that I loved. But to me, at number 1, I decided to go with AJ Styles versus John Cena at Crown Jewel. I think that this should have been the retirement match for John Cena or AJ Styles. Really, having it be the retirement match for any of them would have been awesome. Again, two of my favorites who are going to retire very soon. Not the biggest fan of either of their retirements, to be honest with you, and I really wish that this was at one of their retirements, whether it was Cena's or Styles's, because it was just so amazing. And it kind of was like another fan service like match where there was a lot of fan service, there was a lot of paying tribute, but also kind of just worked because of who was in the ring, and because of it being like this, oh well, I'm retiring, you're retiring, we have to make sure we do this one last time before we're done, so let's do this. It's because it was true, it was babyface Cena versus babyface AJ Styles, and they were having this match because they just felt like they had to do this match before the retirement came. And it was just awesome seeing the different tributes, like the skull crushing finale, and I mean there was a bunch of others. I'm not gonna be able to mention all of them at the moment, but I think this was like the second match that I actually felt some feels during a match, because of my favorite tribute, that being the Sister Abigail, and then all the fans got their fireflies out, and you could see Cena starting to break, and it was awesome. And hold on, we'll continue talking after I do a switch. Like I was saying, I thought this match was beautiful, and my favorite tribute being the Sister Abigail. I already told you why, and like that, I think that like, I won't lie, it may have hit me in the feels also. It was just amazing, and like to me, like I said, I thought this was a perfect like ending match to pay tribute and to be fan service, and because it kind of felt like payoff to these careers, and because even AJ Styles was getting in there with some tributes. Cena had custom announcements made for both himself, like he has been doing, but also for AJ Styles. And like I said, I just thought this match was amazing and beautiful, and I would have been okay with anyone winning. I love this match. I just think it was emotional and beautiful, and it's my favorite match of 2026. So in my opinion, the best match of 2025 is John Cena versus AJ Styles at Crown Jewel. And I still think this should have been one of the retirement matches. Not the 2 matches we got against Gunther, but whatever. We're not talking about that. But yeah, thank you guys so much for taking time to watch this video. Let me know what your top 10 favorite matches of 2025 were. And thanks for listening to me talk for this long about wrestling, especially because I don't talk about that too often on this channel, but I wanted to because it's fun for me. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Bye.